Hi, it's York, and welcome to this week's edition of Community Conversations presented by Port Hope Hyundai. This week, I've been test driving a 2026 Hyundai Elantra Hybrid. Now, I drive an older model Hyundai, but this is going to be my next vehicle for sure. With sleek modern styling, a smooth ride, and fuel economy that is hard to beat. It's got a refined interior, the cabin is quiet, and has enough tech to keep you feeling smart and safe. So it doesn't just save you money at the pump, it makes every drive feel sharp and efficient. If you're looking for an affordable, eco-friendly sedan, the 2026 Hyundai Elantra Hybrid hits that sweet spot. This week, I'm having a conversation with Ryan Huffman. Ryan Huffman, thank you very much for joining us on Community Conversations. I appreciate you taking the time. For those that don't know you or know of you, why not start off and give us the Ryan Huffman story?
Sure. I'm Ryan Huffman, born and raised Cobourg. Grew up a fairly traditional Cobourg young childhood, going to the local primary schools, playing a little bit of sports, and kind of middle class, and kind of having a dream of one day maybe leaving Cobourg and going to school, post-grad, which I ended up doing. I went to the University of Ottawa. I graduated with a commerce degree. Ended up going from there to the city after a short stop off back here and trying to figure out kind of where life was going to take me, and ended up at a company called Pneumatic Parts,
right,
where where I spent a good amount of my 20s and early 30s, probably a good 12 years there. By the end of it, I had some ownership stake in the company. And I also developed, what is kind of well storied and everybody knows is, I had a long kind of history of addiction and mental health as
right.
well. So by the time I was 35, I was very much, taken over by my addiction.
Right.
Definitely a daily drinker of probably a good 10 to 15 years at that time, after kind of progressively getting worse and worse from high school to university to, my early professional career. Drugs were slowly added. So then I became kind of a dual functioning alcoholic and drug addict. And by the time I was 35, I had found myself in some trouble with the law. I had, I got caught with drinking and driving, and I had found myself completely reliant on alcohol and drugs. So I made a decision at that point, after getting my second DUI and being found in Beaverton, being sick and tired of being sick and tired, and,
Right.
and suicide looking really good, that I went to the Ross Memorial Hospital, and that I was going to make a change. I was going to go to treatment. I was going to get my stuff together. And it didn't matter how long it took. I was going to stay and come home and do that once. So through that process, I was at a place called McKay Manor for 10 months. And I needed to kind of transition. Luckily enough, PPI ended up selling, not for a substantial amount of money, but enough to have a safety net where I could take a year of my life off and figure out what was next. What was next was, luckily, there was a stage 2 at McKay Manor where you could be working, looking for work, or going to school. So I used the going to school part to my advantage. In the last couple of months, I had started the real estate program.
Okay.
And then I kind of transitioned from there, going to AA meetings back in Cobourg, where I was born and raised, and very familiar, and mom and dad are still here. And from there, I transitioned back into Northumberland. Ended up finishing my real estate course, a little delayed through the COVID years.
Right.
And I had property in Oshawa. We luckily sold everything. Just as soon as I made the decision to get clean and sober, it's funny how all of these kind of blocks fell into place. And PPI sold, and I was able to sell my place in Oshawa and move back, and here I am, 7 years. In February I'll be clean and sober. And
Congratulations.
Thank you. And now we're back in in Northumberland, living in Coburg, and a fairly successful real estate career as well.
Right. I didn't realize that you were so new into the real estate
Right.
side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us about the support that you got here when you came home to Northumberland.
Yeah, I mean, it was certainly a risk, that's for sure, but the overwhelming support. And you and I talk quite a bit about this when we're at these events that we do, and whether it's the events or whether it's Ryan Huffman or it's the foundation, no matter it seems what we do, the support has been phenomenal, and definitely superseded any expectations that I ever had. It's kind of seems like one of those things where it's like, if you the more you put yourself out there, the more support that you seem to get, and the community has been nothing short of blowing me away with the support that I've got.
One of the things when we first started talking, it was at the start of your Upturn program with the YMC Northumberland.
Mm-hmm.
Take us to the impetus of the Upturn program and exactly what it is.
Sure. So the Upturn program is something that, dating back to my treatment days when I had made that decision that I was going to get clean and sober, I got myself back into the gym and doing physical activity. And to this day, it's a staple in my recovery. So,
well, I just picked you up at the
you
gym,
just
right?
You just picked me up at the way. So it was kind of natural. It was, what can we do to help? We've made this, I say me because it is definitely a team effort. We've made this I guess our daily retrieve is you can only keep what you have by giving it away. So one of the first things that we thought of, what can we do to help others that might be struggling with mental health and addiction? And the obvious answer was right in front of us, and that was, it was to partner up with the YMCA and start a program that other people might be able to kind of benefit from physical activity and working out like I had and like Ashley has. So it was a very quick kind of deliberation with the Y, and they thought that it was a wonderful idea, and we had money from our first annual golf tournament, and so we started up the Upturn program, what provides full access memberships to those that are struggling with mental health and addiction, or might not have the need or the means to get themselves to the Y.
Right.
And so here we are now, a few years removed from that, and it's been such a big success. And I don't know the numbers, but it's hundreds of people that have helped through the Upturn program and having access to a full access membership to the YMCA.
How does knowing that and hearing the stories of people that have been helped from the Upturn program in turn help you and your continued recovery?
Everything. It's everything. Like I said, every day it's not about me, but it's, you can only keep what you have by giving it away. And there's
right.
a lot of, that's a powerful statement, because in the programs like the 12-step programs, one of the steps is to give it away and give back to those that are maybe not gotten to the point or made a decision that they want to make themselves better and deal with their addictions. So to me these days, there's nothing more gratifying than helping those that are struggling with mental health and addiction, because I know the depths that it took me to.
What does it take for somebody that is seeing this for the first time and thinking, wow, that might very well help me, to get involved with Upturn?
So those that want to get a membership, so you can go on to the YMCA website, you can go on to the Ryan Huffman Foundation website. There are Upturn links. You can Google Upturn program YMCA. There is a form online, and it's fairly straightforward. You fill it out, and then Sam Kelly from the YMCA will be in touch, and you go through as if you were getting a normal membership. You go through the process of going for a tour and getting yourself set up. You get your membership card, and away you go. If you don't have means to get online, you can simply drop into the YMCA, or you can contact me directly, and we can make sure that we get you started.
Is there a community aspect to it of having people to talk to that are going through the same thing?
For sure. I keep on saying 12-step programs, but AA NA are two programs that there's a meeting every night, and there's a massive community. You'd be blown away by some of the people that you see in these rooms.
Right.
Northumberland Hills Hospital has a mental health program. The Forecast has a community. So there's a bunch of different organizations, 12-step programs, the YMCA in Northumberland, or simply contacting me directly, and I can kind of put you or steer you in the right direction. There's an abundance of organizations or programs that can cater to so many different mental health. Doesn't necessarily have to be addiction, but mental health in general, kind of avenues.
There seems to be a misconception out there that there aren't those programs and
Right.
supports available here in Northumberland County, but you can speak specifically to the fact that if you want them, they are right here at home.
They are very much so. Like I said, if you're kind of a little bit intimidated by going to your AA or your NA, which I don't think that there's any need to be intimidated. Like I said, there's Forecasts, there's the Northumberland Hills Hospital, there's the YMCA has programs, there's all kinds of other local not-for-profit organizations and charities and foundations that can help. Go to the Ryan Huffman Foundation. And for the youth as well, if there's any youth that are struggling, today is the grand opening of the youth hub in Port Hope.
Right.
So like I just said, there's such an abundance out there. You just kind of put yourself out there.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So,
you mentioned the Youth Hub, and again, the grand opening ceremony is going to come up on December the 12th. Open house today as we're recording this. But talk to us about the importance of having that hub that was the dream of Municipality of Port Hope Mayor Elena Hankivsky to actually have come to fruition.
That's crazy. And again, you talk about support to kind of manifest this dream that she's had, and then for Cameco to come on board, and a lot of the local organizations, companies, people, and to where it is today, to give a platform to the youth, to maybe have a voice, to have some hope, and to have a space that they can go and have a variety of things at their disposal. It's quite phenomenal, really.
I cannot wait to see it up and running. It opens on December the 1st. Quickly before I let you go, the Ryan Huffman Foundation, yes, it carries your name, but you got a great team behind you. Let's talk a little bit about your team.
I talk about Ashley all the time. Ashley's my partner in crime, and it's definitely not a me, it's a we thing. And then we've also had two other ladies, Pam and Leanne Booth and Pam Trumper. And then Chad Stewart of NSSL is also on the committee and the board with the foundation. And together, it is a team effort. We have an annual golf tournament, and now we're kind of spreading our wings and doing other events. We just had an event at Dalewood with Mr. and Mrs. Claus. We've done brunches, and we continue to expand. But yeah, no, it's definitely not me. It's definitely a team, and there's 5 of us now.
Well, your team is doing fantastic work and helping a lot of people right here in Northumberland County. I appreciate you being a part of Northumberland County, and I appreciate you being a part of Community Conversations.
Well, thank you very much, and thanks for all your support as always.